Good, whoop. Good afternoon. Mr. Bundy. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good.
Bert looks very animated today.
Huh?
Bert looks very animated.
Yes, he does. So, do we have anybody in fire zones?
No, surprisingly up here, San Diego, I'm not sure about, but up this way, we're in good shape. So the
Okay.
fires are really terrible up north.
I know that Rod said that he was actually housing somebody that's affected by it. They weren't members; they were friends of his, but
Yeah.
he has, people. So
Did anybody check in Division 11, Riverside County?
It seemed to be okay. I mean, when I ran the Everbridge and to see who was in the fire zone, it didn't look like it was anybody in there.
when
And actually, I don't know enough about what direction it's going. So somebody locally there, like the division commander, should be looking at it. That was to remind me of the meeting starting.
Oh, I've been here since 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Oh, getting your everything.
I have rehearsed this thing to death. It's in nice big letters.
Yeah.
I have a teleprompter screen. Well, my computer. I have it on computer. Yeah, I'm overdoing it. Uncle Bert, are you going to talk to us, or are you just going to sit there in hiding?
He has to unmute first.
He looks like he's froze.
Now, as I said, he's very animated this morning. So
I did see Commodore Merriman log in a minute ago, but she popped back out. Wayne's been here.
hi, Wayne.
Nobody's talking.
There. How's that? Is that better?
Much better.
Oh, much better, much better.
Okay. Now let me see if I can get my camera working again.
Ta-da!
Here you are.
There you are.
How is everybody today? Good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yep.
Good.
If it was any better, I'd be happy. So
Yeah. As far as I know, everybody's doing good from my division. I don't have any, but I have a few people that live out in the fire area, but it's about 10 to 15 miles from them. So I haven't heard from Carrie to know what she's got going on yet, but
She did post a picture, I think it was Friday when she was getting ready to leave for work, how smoky it was up there. So I have no idea where these fires breaking out, just like you'd have no idea if one broke out here in the Tonto Basin, you'd have, no clue. So you guys are going to have to be vigilant when you see these things pop up, start making phone calls or whatever.
yeah, we've had orange skies at night here. The fire's close enough from the smoke and all, but
we had beautiful sunrises, nice bright orange sun at like 6 in the morning. I'm like, that's all California smoke. But
I'm happy to contribute to your smog. Okay.
there was a great cartoon today I saw. It was a courtroom, and it shows the attorney speaking, and he said, "Yes, my client shot the man, but the death certificate said he died from COVID-19."
Yeah. I don't know. My mother-in-law came back, and when she went back to Wisconsin, a friend of theirs was in a motorcycle accident, and on the guy's death certificate, it was listed due to he was,
Yeah,
positive for COVID-19. So
yeah. It was irrelevant he got hit by a Mack truck, right?
yeah, I mean, he may have, but yeah, it's ridiculous. And here I thought 2020 was going to be a great year. It started out business-wise, it was going to be a blockbuster. That all went away, and then everything else has. It's like, Jesus, all right, can it be January 1st, 2021?
Yeah, well, hopefully it will be better.
There's a bunch of emails going around this morning from all the chiefs of staff just wishing everybody good luck. Most everybody has already had their election, but one of them, Chris, you know Harvey Randall?
Where's he at?
I don't know. Back east somewhere. They're not having their district election until the end of October.
What?
Yeah. Is that weird or what? When are they going to do? They're going to have November is going to be the division elections. That's crazy.
Well, I know I worked with Roland in 14 to get him up with a feed and everything, because he's doing his conference. He's got all day today. They did the elections last night. I guess they had issues because it took longer than they anticipated. I helped out Jim Chase with 17, getting their guy into election runner. Mary's guy called me night before last. I got him up and running on a YouTube stream.
Right.
So yeah, I pretty much helped every one of the PAC area districts out in their elections.
E11 North had their election this morning, and Chief of Staff Dean was elected, of course.
Good. Did you watch? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. He just emailed me.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Lonnie. Hi, Bill.
Hello, how is everybody?
Pretty good.
Morning, Bill.
Hey, Rick.
Good morning or afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon.
Well, I didn't want to make it too early, so I didn't interrupt your morning sleep-in time. So
Thank you so much.
I want to apologize for not being in uniform, except for it's still packed and I can't find it anywhere. So
Okay. Well,
I didn't,
um,
one of those ones I didn't think I was going to need when I got up here, so it got packed and hasn't been unpacked. I spent all morning looking for it, and it's like, okay, I give up.
that's okay. Right before I put my blouse on, I'm like, okay, one last sip of coffee before I do. Sure enough, man, it's like, oh, it went down on my T-shirt. I'm like, well, you're not supposed to see the T-shirt, so hopefully the buttons will. And it did.
Hi, Patrick.
Don't go hiding, Patrick.
How are y'all doing today?
I don't know. I can't see you. There you
There
are.
he is.
There's
Most
Patrick.
people don't want to see it, so it's okay.
So you're upstairs and Virgil's downstairs.
He is hiding downstairs.
And who is shoveling snow?
Hey, there's Virgil.
Hey, Virgil.
There's Virgil.
So it's looking good.
How much did you guys get?
Total amount of precipitation was about 3/4 of an inch, according to Virgil's little weather station. But nothing actually stuck. It was a lot of water. It was good for the fires, the whole 9 yards.
Well, it was what, 109 the day before or something like that, and then it snowed.
100 degrees the day before.
And then it snowed the next day. Wow.
Yeah, it is correct. Welcome to Colorado.
See what you moved to, Lonnie?
Yeah, well, we got, here, it did stick, and we had about 3 inches in the back, and it stuck around for a couple days here, but it was up to about a little over 6 inches. Extremely wet, and then it went away.
Yep.
Hey, Chris.
I bet you can hardly wait for winter, huh?
I ordered a snowblower. Never used one in my life, but I'm going to figure it out.
Don't read the book. Just put it together and do it. Wait until it breaks, then go read the book.
Yep, that's the way we do it.
Yeah. Hi, Mike. Hi,
Good
Chris.
afternoon.
Hi, Mike.
How are you
Mike.
doing?
Where's he at?
Right here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I saw you coming in.
Bert's hiding out between with his background. I can hardly see him.
Yeah, he looks like he's on Star Wars or something.
Right?
I'm trying to clear out that background.
That's Darth Vader, Simi Valley.
Are you trying to get
It's
rid
all
of it?
the smog. It's the smog in the air.
He's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as he's not Darth Vader.
There you go.
But that's for Halloween.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, Ronnie.
Okay, let's see.
Hey, Virgil.
Fine.
We have 10 people on the YouTube feed watching.
Oh, good. Good afternoon, Rod. He's still setting up, I think.
Yeah, still logging on. His mic's on mute. There you go.
Does anyone,
There's
Rod.
Rod.
Whoops. Everybody disappeared on me. Hold on.
anyone remember how to get rid of the background?
Yes, you go to your video settings and it says virtual background. And then you just tell it none.
If you just click the arrow next to stop video, you'll see that drop down.
Yeah, but that doesn't get rid of the background.
Virtual background.
Did you see where it says virtual? Let's see, hang on, let me get my.
It
I lost
says
my mouse.
choose virtual background.
Yeah.
And then it'll go in and you can have all those to pick from or click none.
Yep.
I'm looking for the virtual
Or
background.
you can do silly stuff like this.
I don't want to take that away from you, sir.
I found that the other day and I'm like, oh, this would be, no, I better not. It's Bert's fault. He drugged me into that window. I had to play.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Alex.
Commodore
Hi, Alex.
Johnson.
Good afternoon, Alex.
Mike
Good
Johnson,
afternoon,
how are you?
Commodore Johnson.
I'm here. So how do you put that background on again?
All right, if you go if you go to the up arrow that's right next to the stop video, where you turned your video on and off, your camera,
Yep.
go to the up arrow and it says virtual background.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think this is the one to do it on.
If it doesn't look good, you just turn it off real quick. But
I don't see one.
all right.
Pick one. You have to click on something else to get to it.
No, you're gonna have to download them into it, which means
Forget it.
oh, Yeah, forget it for today. You can actually, if you have a favorite picture, you can drag it in and drop it in, and it'll put it up there.
Huh.
So
I don't know if I have any pictures on this computer. Probably do
I'll
somewhere.
I'll have to look, and because when I put it on my secondary computer, the same thing happened. And there's somewhere you go in and it'll download a bunch of standard backgrounds. Good afternoon, Admiral. I see you're out there.
I am. Good afternoon. How is everybody?
Pretty
Doing
good.
great.
Doing well, thank you.
That's great to see you all. I dressed up just for you guys. I thought
Oh, that's okay.
guys.
Commodore Merriman, I see you're online. Why is it I feel like I'm a radio talk show host and waiting for the next caller to come in? But
Hi, Chris. I'm here. I'm just getting my act together.
my IT lady is saying that. My genius. And
There we go. Okay.
Yay!
Hey, Chris.
How are you? I can't really see you because your camera is right where your photo is, but I know you're there. I have to go like this. Commander.
Hi, Commander.
Afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
Good afternoon, Commander.
Doing
Good afternoon,
well.
Commander.
I'm actually going to be multitasking because North is still having their elections, but I am here and ready.
Okay. Oz.
There you go. Unmute. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Buzz.
Boss.
Hey, Buzz.
Hey, Buzz.
Hey, boss, how are you doing?
All right, 1, 2.
I'm doing well. I'm used to looking at you guys in your pajamas. Kind of
He's
weird.
wearing my pajamas.
Almost feels normal.
Just make sure nobody stands up.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, we're not doing a pledge today.
that's why I specifically put that in that email. Don't stand up. Who are we missing? 1, Rod's here. 9, Lonnie's here. 10, Matt's here. 4, Alex is here.
You're missing 12.
7.
I'm here.
Yep. And so
12.
we're missing, yeah, okay.
11?
Yeah, 11 and 12.
And 11.
I don't see 11. Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. DeVoy. You scared me this morning when you checked in at 8:30 this morning, and I got a notice.
I was just making sure I had the Zoom.
I know, but
app
like,
on my.
I'm like, did I send out a wrong email to somebody?
No, I wanted to make sure I had the Zoom on my iPad and stuff like that.
Okay.
Good morning to, or good afternoon. Yeah.
Rob, you didn't just steal your daughter's computer? That's what I did. I stole my son's.
Yeah, I probably could. I know. Yeah, who knows? I guess I probably could have did that and then take any 3 of the 4 Chromebooks or whatever, but no.
Commodore Stouter's here.
Flip
He is?
page.
Greetings.
Yes, sir.
Here he is.
Yes,
Hey,
Commodore.
Good afternoon, Tom.
what happened to
everyone.
where'd the
Tom.
mustache go?
That's been gone for 2 years. That was a pandemic and a government shutdown ago.
That was quite a while.
Really?
You must be somewhere near the fire. Your face is all red.
Just the lighting, I think.
Hey, Tom, Pelosi.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Where? Are they here?
Down at the bottom.
Oh, okay. There you are. Oh, good. I can. Now that I have.
I still don't see Ron isn't on yet. Division 12.
Yeah, Ron and Carrie are missing.
I'm here.
Carrie's there.
Hello. It comes up with my son's name. The Zoom setup was originally set up under him, so you see me as Teddy.
Oh,
Sound is terrible.
Teddy. Teddy. Okay, let's see. Who am I missing?
Ron Hecker, 12.
No, I'm looking for something else. Who's
No,
computer?
Ron Hecker's online now.
Yep, I see that. Tom, who's, oh, your iPhone? Tom?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Is that where both of you are going to watch this? I'm just setting up
Well,
the
we'll see.
breakout
Leslie's
room.
getting hers on right now.
All right, I'll wait. I'm just getting the breakout room set. I'm in tech mode now. I'm almost ready to go to show mode. I'm waiting on.
You didn't
Hey,
expect
Ron.
all of us to be so prompt.
All right. District captains, are all your division commanders present?
Yes.
In New England, yes.
Yes.
All right. We have Tom and Leslie. We have Commodore Johnson. We have the director. We have the admiral. We have Commodore Merriman. I believe we are ready to get going. Patrick, are you supposed to remind me to do something?
Better start the YouTube recording.
No, I'm doing the.
Or just the I guess just the audio.
The Zoom. All right.
Record. There you go.
I believe in redundancy. You can never get enough backup.
Yep, you're right.
Welcome, everybody. This is our September meeting and elections. We have some special guests with us. Admiral Benor. I sure hope I pronounced that right, sir. If I don't, my apologies. And District National Commodore Information Technology, Linda Merriman. Of course, we have Director of Auxiliary, Commander Keenan, Operation Training Officer, Mr. DeVoy, Immediate Past, Tom Stoddard. Let's see, Commodore Johnson, and the rest of the board. At this time, please remember to keep your mics muted unless you're talking or you have a headset that it mutes when you put it up. Commander, can you introduce our guests for us, please?
Of course. Thank you all. Thank you, Commodore Hirschfield, and welcome everyone. It's great to see so many people actually have their cameras on. Usually I'm one of the culprits that doesn't have it on, but you know, in uniform today. It is my pleasure to introduce Rear Admiral Penor, who assumed his duties as Commander 11th Coast Guard District in July. As such, he oversees the Coast Guard safety, security, law enforcement, and environmental stewardship operations from the California-Oregon border to Peru, including Arizona, Utah, and Nevada. He previously served as Commander Coast Guard Force Readiness since July 2018. Prior to his assignment as the Commander Force Readiness Command, Rear Admiral Penor commanded the 14th Coast Guard District. Rear Admiral Penor has extensive operational experience with a specialty in coastal operations. During his career, he has served as the Commander of Coast Guard Sector Houston-Galveston, as the Deputy Commander at Coast Guard Sector Maryland, National Capital Region, and at Sector Jacksonville, Florida. He was the liaison in the Office of Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security during the Deepwater Horizon incident, deployed during Hurricane Katrina to Louisiana, and again during Hurricane Sandy to New York. Rear Admiral Penor holds a Master of Public Policy degree from the University of Maryland, a Master of Arts in National Security and Strategic Studies from the Naval War College. He is a 2015 recipient of the Coast Guard's Type 1 Incident Commander qualification. Rear Admiral Panor is a native of the Chicago area and a proud University of Chicago graduate. He is married to Hildy Baker of Madison, Wisconsin, a nurse and equally proud University of Chicago graduate. Together, they have 2 daughters. We appreciate you taking the time out of your Saturday, and I will turn it over to you, Admiral.
Great, thanks, Dyrox. I appreciate it. And for the assembled group, I apologize for the bio. It's so boring it even bores me, and you never tire of hearing your own narrative, right? But we'll get on with it. So thanks for making some time for me. I was hoping to share 3 relatively quick things with you here today. But before we get into those, I just wanted to open up by saying a real heartfelt thank you to the auxiliary. I go way back with the auxiliary. Just my career is such that almost from my first duty station, I've been involved with the organization and all over the country. Some of my absolute dearest friends over the last 31 years have been auxiliaries who have mentored me and helped me along with matters professional and personal. And as much as I appreciate that, it's really important for me to kind of just, say out loud what we all know and almost take for granted, which is just heroic sense of American volunteerism that leads you all to do what you do on behalf of the nation almost every day. I mean, every day somewhere in your region for sure. I can't tell you how much that matters to me. And in case you're ever feeling a little blue about, the headlines and the trends of the nation, you need to just touch base with some fundamental truths, one of which is, for me in my last job, I got to go to Cape May and see the next generation of young men and women rolling into the Coast Guard and the Coast Guard Reserve. And, in that case, if you're feeling blue about the next generation and where the country's headed, just go meet them. America's in good hands. Have no fear for our future. And similarly, I think of all of you and the spirit of American volunteerism that leads you to do what you do, and the gratitude that I feel is just overwhelming. So thank you for what you do. Those words must be inadequate to the reality of your service, but that's all I can offer is my thanks. So I thought what I would do is touch on sort of, like I say, I'm an iron rule of 3 kind of guy. If you got a 4th thing, I forget what it is. But the 3 things I wanted to touch on briefly are just some general leadership topics, the global pandemic that we're in, the COVID pandemic, and leadership in the auxiliary. And then 3rd is the operational demand signal that I have for your service. And we'll kind of touch those in order. So on the topic of leadership, when I got to the district, the staff at District 11, and I gotta tell you, I've been around the Coast Guard, like I say, 31 years. I've been in a lot of different districts. And I don't know if you know this, but so I'll just say it out loud. You've kind of got the cream of the crop district staff. It's as a new district commander, this is sort of what you hope for. It's very small compared to other districts, but it is extraordinarily high performing. So it's like somebody threw you the keys to a sports car. It is a finely tuned, really high speed machine, and it really is a pleasure to work with them. But the staff, as you would expect, or you might hope, approached me even before I took command and said, "Hey, where are we going leadership wise? What's the direction we're headed?" So I rigidly imposed on myself, and I've done this several other times in command, and it served me well. I imposed on myself a process, kind of I call it the 30-30-30 process. 30 days of just shutting up and listening, just walking around, getting around the district, talking to people at every unit and subunit, every aids and navigation team, everywhere I could get to, every partner agency that I could talk to, political stakeholders, anybody that would give me a minute of their time, just listening to what they brought up. I wasn't even seeding it. I was just listening for what they would raise to me. You know, what kinds of things are on their mind? What kind of challenges they're facing? What do they need from me? What's eating their lunch in terms of time and energy? And having heard that, I listened for themes. And in the second 30 days, which we're kind of in the middle of right now, I pick up those themes, and the district staff would tell you, Dyrox is being very gentle, but she would tell you that they're all seeing it is when a theme rises up, I frequently will ask them for some homework, a deep dive. Like, I need to understand this. Why are people raising this issue? What is the thing about it? Why is it coming up? And more importantly, what is it that we think we could do to make a difference in this thematically? And then at the end of that 30 days, the next 30 rolls into deploying the plan. And for me and for you, that's going to revolve around laying out the plan in October, right around the 1st of October. And if you haven't had the experience of federal budgeting, well, congratulations. But we have a fiscal year that starts October 1st and runs to October 1st, and the money is allocated for specific purposes during that time, right? So what I'm going to do that's different, maybe a little bit, is this year I'm going to take 3 things that happen sort of independently, and I'm going to bind them together into one thing. In October, we usually release our operational plan for the year, where we allocate how we're going to use the assets and staff time that we have across the active duty and reserve Coast Guard in District 11. And we pass this down to the sectors. We ask them to expend about this many hours on fisheries law enforcement, that many hours on port security, and so on. I'm going to line up the budget, the operational budget that we have to expend. And then the third thing, and maybe this is what's a little different, is I'm going to blend in terms of work to get after. I'm going to blend in the list of projects that we need to get after during the fiscal year. And I do that on purpose because it's been my experience over the years that if there's not money and resources put after an initiative, then it's just an aspiration, right? The old saw, and I love it, so I say it all the time. Commander's tired of hearing it, but it's the truth. Vision without resources is hallucination, and I just don't have time for that in command. I'm only here for a couple of years if I'm lucky, and the operational demands that are on our service are so severe that I don't have time for aspirations and strategies. I just don't have time for it. I need to select out what those few things that we're going to do are and get after them. And with a sense of urgency. And so, you know, big direction wise, you should all probably know that Admiral Pete Gaudier and I go back a long, long way. We are pretty good friends, and we think about the world very much the same way. So when I got to District 11, he passed to me his strategic framework for how he thinks about problems in District 11. And said, well, hey, you know, your command now, do what you want with this. And I looked at it, and not surprisingly, it's exactly right. It's exactly the right things, you know. So there are 3 broad lines of effort in that. The first is we have to take care of our people. There's just a lot of things that we need to do to take care of making our people ready to do their job, but also taking care of them personally and their families so that they're able to do their job, you know. So I need them ready for today and tomorrow, not just, you know, this afternoon, but I need them to be able to come back and do it again, bring in their A game every day. You know, we do dangerous work in a dangerous operating environment, and if we're not on our A game, somebody's going to get hurt. And I don't want to fail in the mission, but I really don't want anybody to get hurt. The second line of effort is really that thing, mission excellence. What does it take to really execute the mission with excellence? And the third line of effort is partnerships, because no matter how good, no matter how ready our people are, and no matter how excellent we are at executing, there just ain't enough of anybody to do everything that needs to be done everywhere that it needs to be done. And so quite candidly, you know, this is a national strategy. The nation has chosen wisely, I believe, not to buy enough Coast Guard to be everywhere doing everything all the time. That would be an expensive endeavor indeed. You know, we have, we like to say 11 statutory missions. I don't do a lot of ice breaking in District 11, but I do everything else. And the Coast Guard can't afford, the nation can't afford 10 mini Coast Guards to do 10 missions all the time everywhere, nor would it be needed, nor would it be efficient. So the national strategy is really one of partnering, you know, coalition warfare, if you want to use a DoD approach to this. And that is vitally important to us. And the most important of our longstanding partnerships is our partnership with the auxiliary. So the 3 lines of effort are pretty simple. Within them, Pete has identified certain things that we have to get after in terms of, sort of sub lines of effort. And within those, you can imagine 10 years worth of projects easily, because the framework is pretty enduring. But I don't have 10 years. I just have one that I can count on. It's the one in front of me and the one that I can do something about. And so our job now in this next few weeks before October 1st is to say no to 1,000 good things that we could be doing and neck it down to, I like to say there's 3 lines of effort, and I'm a rigid incident command system guy, rule of 3, span of control can be 3 to 5, no more than 7, right? So 3 lines of effort by 3 projects each. We're looking for the 9 district-wide impactful initiatives that are going to really matter for people, mission excellence, and partnerships. The district staff immediately said, that's going to be tough, boss. We got a lot of important things we got to get after. And I said, okay, we can go to 15, maybe. But if everything's number 1, nothing is, right? And if you spread yourself an inch deep, you'll never get any single thing done. You condemn yourself to a life of incremental progress, and 1,000 years from now, we'll have everything done. I don't have 1,000 years. I've got 1. So we're gonna really take that effort to neck it down to the, like I say, 9 to 15 big initiatives, and I'm going to be asking for your help. I'm going to be asking, frankly, for a lot of help. And some of those initiatives are squarely in the auxiliaries wheelhouse. And I'll come back to that sort of demand signal that's about to fall your way in early few weeks of October. Now, let me just shift gears a little bit and go to the second thing, which is leadership in this global pandemic. And I'm going to ask you really very candidly for your personal leadership during this continued pandemic, as the days and weeks have rolled into months. And now, frankly, I think this thing, even if a vaccine is produced immediately, it will take months and months and months to deploy and reach everyone, and pick a length of time. Sometime in the spring, perhaps summer if we're lucky. I heard Dr. Fauci in the media recently saying it could be towards the end of the year in 21 before we get back to, I'll throw up the scare quotes on purpose, right? Normal, whatever the new normal is. That's a long time to sustain what we're doing. And I'm going to ask for your leadership in continued leadership, frankly, in 2 ways. I say continued leadership because the most important thing you could know about COVID is that for all of the forces that are deployed in the Pacific area on this side of the Rockies, we only account for about 5% of the COVID positive cases in the entire Coast Guard. And that means the things that we are doing in our day-to-day life at home and at work are protecting our people and our families. And because they are protected, they're able to come to work and continue doing the mission because we haven't dropped any mission. We're continuing to do the job. That's an enormous success story that you all are should feel a great deal of pride and ownership in, but it's tough, and it's been particularly tough on you, and I know it has. It's tough because you can't do the things that you join the auxiliary to do in some cases, and it's tough because across the Coast Guard, I'm sure there are divisions, flotillas, regions that would tell you, oh, I don't know why they don't let you do that in California. We're doing it in Florida or Virginia or Maine or whatever, right? That's fine. I don't know what they're thinking out there. And this is where I really need your leadership, particularly down to the deck plate level of the flotillas, because we have the same problem in the active duty side and in the reserve side and in the civilian side for that matter. And the leadership boils down to really helping me communicate the basic fundamental message, which is that all risk management is local, just like all politics is local, and for the same reason. You have to know the people and you have to know the conditions in specific locations to know what the appropriate risk management is. And we're just in a different position in terms of our communities, and we're in a different position in terms of our risk tolerance for our missions. Remember what District 11 does outside of California. We're in the business of launching Coast Guard cutters 1,500 miles over the horizon into the East Pacific and pursuing transnational criminal organizations. Our tolerance to disruption due to a COVID infection is extremely low, and the consequences, should they come positive while they're in that theater, would be extremely high. So all of our combined missions require us to have a pretty careful approach to this, and in some cases it may be different than what others are experiencing. So I need your help in communicating to everybody that risk management decisions are local. And to assist you in this message, we are preparing an update to our policy for the auxiliary that will allow you a little bit more localized, appropriate risk management for conditions. But it will essentially not feel a whole lot different in my view, because as we look at the conditions around California, we find that many of them don't quite get to the, if you'll forgive the old term, phase 2 level, right? We seem to be holding at phase 1.75 across the state. Nonetheless, we're going to ask you to make some risk benefit trade-offs in our new policy that will allow you to get back after some things that you used to do and currently can't do. And we'll lay out the conditions that you'd know when to do that, right? So the good news is it'll be more localized like it needs to be. But the bad news is it's not as though all of our risks have gone away. They certainly have not. The second piece of pandemic leadership that I'm going to ask you for is to really continue and even double down on your messaging to the rank and file through the chain of leadership on the off-duty behaviors, we call it in the active duty side, right? Because it is these measures that you take with your social circle that are far more impactful. The blunt fact is that we have to take a look at all of our pandemic behaviors right now, all the things we do to protect ourselves, all the things that we chose to do quickly after the pandemic arose in March and April. And we have to really think through each one of them. And we're doing that. And I'll ask you to do the same, because you got to be able to sustain it. And if this was to go on another 6-9 months, on the active duty side, I've been telling people, you can't not take leave. You've got to take your leave, and you've got to be part of your family's life events. If your little sister's getting married, you need to be there. So my message to them, and similarly my message to you, is it's not about whether you travel to your little sister's wedding. It's about how you conduct yourself in terms of protecting others and protecting yourself from infection. So it's about things like cloth face masks. It's about being outside. It's about social distancing. All of those things that are in our policy for off-duty behaviors that we really need to double down on and make sure people are actually complying with, because I suspect it's true for the auxiliary, as it has been in my experience for the active duty. When I went around every little ant team and station and air station and everybody else, what I heard was a consistent kind of a theme when I talked about COVID. And I'm going to deliberately say it provocatively to kind of make my point. It never comes off this way, but this is the kind of the message underneath the message. What they basically tell me is, oh, yes, sir, we're complying with those standards of off-duty conduct. We are absolutely careful with people we don't know. Friends, folks aren't getting COVID at the Costco. They're getting it from their social circle. And it kind of works like this, right? So my wife and I, we live in this house. We're in a bubble together. If she's got it, I've got it. But in a social setting, if she goes over to Master Chief Jones's house and she has coffee with Carol and they aren't protecting themselves from each other, if Carol's got it, Hildy's got it and I've got it. For our units, for our auxiliaries, that's the weak link. because this is not a normal behavior for us to have frank conversations with friends and relatives. It's not a normal behavior for us to act like that when we travel to see family, right? So I would tell you again, it isn't whether you travel or whether you or where you go. It's what you do and how you do it, right? Going to your little sister's wedding is fine. Going to a reception that looks like a bar with no mask on, not so fine. So I need your help there as well. We, again, have been enormously successful, and to continue ramping in operations and remaining that successful with our COVID control, we're going to have to really be careful with this messaging specifically. Folks aren't getting, again, they're not getting Costco COVID. They're getting family and friend circle COVID. That's how it's communicating, right? So I need your leadership there. And I feel that I've had it. And I feel that you must be frustrated with your desire to get back after the things that brought you into the auxiliary in the first place. So I want to give you more of that. And I'm going to need this assistance to do it. Final thing from me is just coming back to the demand signal that I have for you. COVID's kind of reduced the supply, and here I am trying to ramp up the demand, and I need those things to equalize out and balance a little bit. So getting you back on the job is job one, and job two is giving you the clarity of what I need from you. And I told you about our October operational planning direction, which is going to give us all of that rolled into a bundle. But let me just kind of lay out for you the way I see the auxiliary fitting into the Coast Guard. In the active duty Coast Guard, we've evolved a lot in my career. And the way we're really configured is essentially we took the Coast Guard from the headquarters level down, and we took out a big knife and we cut it in half, and we divided it into the operators who are performing the mission and mission supporters who are enabling those folks to go out and do the mission. The auxiliary is not lined up that way. Quite candidly, this is a bit of a challenge for me. Maintaining the agility in our headquarters program and in the national and regional structures to be aligned the way the Coast Guard is has been a problem for us. But I'm not interested in boxology. I'm interested in functions. You know, flow charts don't fix anything. Org charts really don't fix anything. Knowing and having the relationships, again, the partnerships is what does. So what I'm going to ask of you to do is to think about it a little bit the way I do in terms of operations and mission support. And for the auxiliary, that's complicated by the fact that you're an autonomous organization. So you do operations and mission support for yourself. And then you turn around and you do operations and mission support for me at my request. And so I'll challenge you all to think of yourselves in military terms as operating as the mission commander for boating safety. That's not really entirely true because DIROX does provide you the overall guidance on boating safety. But candidly, that program at the national level has been outsourced to you almost entirely. You decide, and your flotillas and divisions operate under your chain of leadership to decide where you're going to be and how you're going to get after that mission, except for broad direction. And you don't report back to me. You report using that lovely new Aux Data 2 app and all of that sort of stuff. You decide for yourselves what to do. You're under your own command, if you will, for that mission. How you support yourselves is also under your own command. You don't ask me how you should recruit, and I wouldn't know what to tell you if you did. You don't ask me how to manage elections, and God help you if you ask for that support. But you do, on the other hand, for everything except for that boating safety mission, come to me and say, what do you want? And this is where I have a lot of work to do, because other than some generalities, I haven't been real good about, we, the active duty Coast Guard, haven't been really good about being very, very clear. So you can expect in October, I will be clear, and it will probably be a little bit overwhelming because I will deliberately stress the system. I will ask for more from you than you could possibly give. And I do that with malice aforethought, because I want to give you very specific asks that you don't have the capacity for right now that you can use in your recruiting efforts. I want, and I think this is just true, you need that level of specificity. So when you're talking to somebody about joining the auxiliary who isn't your traditional boater, coming with an op vac, right? Doesn't want to be a boat crewman. And you want them to take, and they're like, why, what would I be doing if I did all this, join this thing, get the clearance, do all that stuff? What would I be doing? I want you to have the specificity to say, well, here's a menu list. Any of this look attractive to you? We need it. We need it tomorrow. We know exactly where you'll be doing it. That's another challenge in that if I give you this menu, the way our auxiliary has evolved and our Coast Guard has evolved, we're not linked up one-to-one anymore. I don't know if we ever were, but we're really not now. And so what I find is that from flotilla to division on up to the region level, right? Sometimes it's pretty clear what station is linked up with what flotilla, what division serves what sector, and sometimes it's not. And for things that are not operational, traditional coastal operations, it's completely unclear. For instance, Base LA Long Beach is the King Mission Support Agency for all of Southern California, your region, including the Western states. Which division is theirs? Well, we're not lined up that way, right? And I'm not interested in changing the org chart, but I am interested in making sure the relationships, the partnerships are crystal clear so that everybody knows on your side and our side who their partner is. So that when we advertise, hey, Base LA needs a person who's interested in doing this thing that is not related to going out and doing a boating safety check, you would know how to get that person to that location and get them employed doing that job. So in that regard, I guess I would leave off by saying that I have operations and mission support requirements that I'm going to lay out for you. I would just say that it's going to be important for us to sort of speak the same lingo so that when we put you into an operational requirement, because believe me, I've got them for you, when you're operating under my OPCON, my operational support mode, right? You're force provider, not commanding the mission. You're going to need to operate the way we operate. You're going to need to be certified the way we're certified, so that the officer in charge that's got to make that decision can trust you, and you know what that officer in charge is likely to require of you, because the trust is a two-way street. Without that level of integration, we will not be able to do the things that we need to do as efficiently as we need to do them. Same thing goes on the mission support side, and I'll give you an example. On the mission support for the active duty Coast Guard, there's a million things, everybody knows about the aux chef program, and that's a classic example of what I'm talking about. But I'll give you one that's a little deeper for me. I've benefited from mentoring both professionally and in life from the auxiliaries that I've been fortunate to know over the years. And candidly, in this time of COVID, I'm going to ask you very directly to be more involved with the lives of our average Coast Guard crews than you ever have been before. Simply because you need to stand a certain number of watches virtually or in person with them before they can build the rapport needed to ask for your life advice, because they're smart. Trust me, they are way smarter than I ever was at their stage. And they are motivated and they are out to go get it. They just haven't seen all the highway there is to see yet. And oftentimes they are their own support network. And I don't know if the 18-year-old getting advice from the 22-year-old is always the full picture that we need for them. You all bring a lot to the fight, and that's one of the most important things you can do, is bring the totality of your life experience into their world and help them. That's a mission support request that I'll try to be as direct as I can, but it won't come out in writing like that. But it's my ask of you to just be more present virtually and in person when that's allowed with the crews, to build that rapport, so that when we're actually just sitting in the back of the unit, having that morale event, they have the comfort that you can hear what's going on in their real lives, and they'll listen to you when you weigh in, because they need that kind of support. Which leads me kind of sort of back to where I began, right? Which is we ask a tremendous amount of you, and I'm going to up the ante. and you deliver. You've delivered for decades, just impressively. I have never seen such a robust auxiliary enterprise as I have here in the California coastal region. And I haven't seen the level of support previously. It's truly breathtaking. And so I'll just leave off where I began with a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for all that you do. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Connor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yep, I'm up. Okay. Thank you, Admiral. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day today. Enjoy. We will pass to the rest of the members, and we're here for you. I'm available through the director. I'm pretty much 24/7 kind of guy, so whenever. But thank you again. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, thanks very much. I'm going to drop off and let you do your business so that you don't have to have me snooping around. But thanks again for having me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Admiral.
All right. Thank you again, Admiral. I really appreciate it. Let's start out. Mr. Palmer, are you with me? Can you unmute? Could you lead us in a invocation?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let us pray. Father, we come to you at this district meeting to ask for wisdom and judgment that we will deal with all situations in truth, love, and diversity. Remembering that as a Coast Guard Auxiliary, we serve a nation of proud Americans. Let our decisions be firm. May we follow procedures and the instructions of our superiors. May you bless us in our efforts to perform to the best of our abilities, and let us rise above our obstacles and serve our nation, the Coast Guard and the auxiliary and the boating public. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Mr. Geiger, can you call the order, please? Call to order.
Thank you, Commodore, and good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 13:30 and turn it over to our Secretary of Records, Patrick Porter, for a roll call.
Thank you. Begin with District Commodore Harshfield.
Present.
District Chief of Staff Geiger.
Present.
District Captain Los Angeles Long Beach North Ebel.
Present.
District Captain LALB South Kopinski.
Present.
District Captain San Diego and Inland Milano.
Present.
Immediate Past Commodore Stoddard.
Present.
Directory of Auxiliary Commander Keenan.
Present.
OTO Robert DeVoy.
Present.
Division Commander 1 Donahue.
Present.
Division Commander 4 Donner.
Present.
Division Commander 5 Bozarth.
Present.
Division Commander 6 Palmer.
Present.
Division Commander 7 Fiamingo.
Present.
Division Commander 9 Singer.
Present.
Division Commander 10 Smith. Division Commander 11 Olson. Division Commander 12 Hecker.
I'm here. Sorry, so I'm trouble unmuting for 11.
Thank you so much. I could see that you were here, so I already checked you off. And President Past Division Commander Association O'Leary. That completes the roll call.
All right, Mr. Porter, or I'm sorry, Commodore Johnson, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
Why, thank you very much. All right, at this time on the agenda, I have DCO pass downs. I don't have a lot to pass down. We did have a meeting last week that we went over some stuff. One thing I do want to bring up that I know people have been asking about, it's the REYR status. At this time, we don't have an answer to that. This is an extremely difficult, excuse me, decision to make for BSX, as every area is different. So how do you make an REYR status for the auxiliary when they're doing stuff in 8th Coastal? 14 is shut down, 17 is doing stuff. So it's going to take them some time. Hopefully, Commodore Merriman might have an update, but a small one. And that's, this is going to be a slow moving train. I ask that you tell your members, do not panic. We're on it. This is a complicated situation. There's no switch that we can go, okay, everybody's fine. So be patient with us. We are working. We're not ignoring any of these requests. Other than that, protocol for our elections. We had an all-ox that came out on a couple weeks ago. Whoops, wrong page. Let me find my computer here. Come on, one more. Yeah. I am going to read for the record the all-ox 013/20. In order to facilitate the conduct of electronic voting at auxiliary, district, division, and flotilla organizational levels during the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with provisions of all-ox 013/20 regarding the conduct of business at those organizational levels, the following sections of the auxiliary manual, Commandant Instructions M16790.1 series, are changed to read as follows. Unit standing rule provision at district, division, and flotilla levels that allow nomination from the floor are suspended for elections held electronically. Nominations from the floor are not permitted during such elections. All candidates for elections to be held electronically shall submit their letters of intent so as to be received by the auxiliary unit leader no later than 14 days in advance of the election. All of our candidates today have complied with that. For elections held as part of an in-person meeting, nominations from the floor remain authorized, shall be conducted in accordance with applicable provisions in the unit standing rules, and the nominator shall be responsible for ascertaining the eligibility of the nominees subject to verification by the director for the elections. Per the director's memo that came out last week, all elections will be electronic in the year 2020, regardless of the status that we would be in. All elections shall be by secret written ballot unless there is only one candidate for a particular office. When there is only one candidate for a particular office, only one vote need be cast at the for that candidate to be elected. These changes are effective immediately, although temporary basis, the duration of which will end at the determination of the Chief Director of Auxiliary. Do I have any questions on that? Okay. We will now conduct the elections for the office of District Commodore. We have one candidate, Charlie Geiger. All 18 members of the district board are eligible to vote. Since there is only one nominee, I waive the requirement for a written ballot per all-ox 013/20 and ask the secretary to cast one vote for Charlie Geiger. With that, your next district Commodore is Charlie Geiger. Congratulations. Yay.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Okay, we will now conduct the election for office of District Chief of Staff. We have one candidate, Rick Ebel. All 18 members of the district board are eligible to vote. Since there is only one nominee, I waive the requirement for a written ballot for all Ox 013/20 and ask the secretary to cast one vote for Rick Ebel. Congratulations, your next district chief of staff is Rick Ebel.
Thank you very much, Commodore.
May God bless you. All right, we will now conduct the election for office of District Captain, San Diego Inland. We have one candidate, Rod Donahoe. There are 9 members of the District Bridge and Board who are eligible to vote. They are District Commodore, District Chief of Staff, District National Commodore, Immediate Past District Commodore, Director of Auxiliary, San Diego Inland DCAP, Division Commanders from Divisions 1, 9, and 10. Since there is only one nominee, I waive the requirement for a written ballot per all Ox 013/20 and ask the secretary to cast one vote for Rod Donahoe. Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, it's going to get exciting here in a few minutes, folks, so bear with me. We will now conduct the election for office of District Captain, LALB North. We have one candidate, Mike Fiamingo. There are 9 members of the District Bridge and Board who are eligible to vote. They are District Commodore, District Chief of Staff, District National Commodore, Immediate Past Commodore, Director of Auxiliary, DCAP LALB North, Division Commanders 4, 7, and 12. Since there is only one nominee, I waive the requirement for a written ballot for all Ox 013/20 and ask the secretary to cast one vote for Mike Fiamingo. Congratulations, Mike. You are the next district captain, LALB South.
Thank you very much. I look forward to the assignment.
You're quite welcome. We will now conduct the electrician. Yeah, we're going to electrocute him. We're not going to have an electrician. Okay. The election for office of district captain, LALB South. We have 2 candidates, Michael Bozarth and Wayne Palmer. There are 9 members of the District Bridge and Board who are eligible to vote. They are District Commodore, District Chief of Staff, Immediate Past District Commodore, District National Commodore, Immediate Past Commodore, Director of Auxiliary, District Captain, LALB South, Division Commanders, Division 5, 6, and 11. Since there are 2 nominees for this election, we will be voting electronically using the election runner software. All voting members except one have participated in the test election and verified their credentials. Commodore Merriman has participated in an election runner before and is familiar with the process. He's actually one of the ones that said that we can use it, so. Each voting member should have received an email today at 13:06 with a quick link to the voting portal to cast your vote. If you cannot access your email at this time, you may log in to Election Runner at d11sr.electionrunner.com. I have a slide that I will put up that has that on there once I get done. Your voting credentials are the same as you used in the test election. At this time, you need to open another browser window. You messed me up, Leslie. I'll get back to you. At this time, you need to open another browser window to vote or click on the link in the email that I just referred to. The program is very mobile friendly, so if you can access your email from your mobile phone, it'll go right through. You will have 10 minutes to complete the voting process on My Go. If you need to log off the meeting to log into Election Runner, please do so at the conclusion of my remarks and return to the meeting when you're done. Commodore Johnson, Tom and Leslie Pelosi, Norm Bundick, will you please report to the breakout room to verify the voting results, and I will be there shortly. So let me get to the breakout rooms. Need to add somebody. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, here we go. So Leslie. All right. So you guys go to the breakout rooms. Normally you don't see this stuff because it's all done behind curtains. And so let me think what else. So I need to, clock hasn't started yet, folks, so bear with me. That now I need to share my screen. I lost my mouse. Come here, Mighty Mouse. Cheers. Okay. And go ahead, and the clock is ticking. There you guys are, screen share. There's that, share.
watch the election part, period. You're the only one that's going to be doing this in the entire political life. I mean, entire division, I think.
Hey, Rod, can you mute, please? We can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, I am back. Stop. All right. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. Who am I waiting on? It's not here. Commander Keenan's probably popped over into other thing. We had a tie. We are going to have to basically do the same exercise we just went through. Again, all of your voting ID is the same. So I launched, let me check. The election is now open. So let me put Mike and those guys back in the breakout room. What did I do? There we go. Allow breakout room. All right, bear with me. I got to do another breakout room here. Come on. Mike, Norm, and Tom and Leslie, if you guys can go ahead, I think you can get back in. If not, I will be there shortly. Let me restart the timer.
Breakout room hasn't shown up yet.
All right, I will be there shortly. Let me get, the window is open. You can go ahead and vote. Timer's away. Okay, open breakout room. Yeah. All right. Unmute speaker, unmute speaker. Yeah. All right. Share screen. You know, I could write a macro and do this. That'll be what I'll do next week.
This would be good for 64 flotillas.
God, I can't even imagine.
Oh my God.
All right, while this is happening, again, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close. Oh, okay. Refresh. All right, so we're waiting on Wayne and Charlie.
Charlie and Herman.
Yep.
Commodore, mine says I can't get in. Says I've already voted.
And you,
Same here.
Can you go to your email and check? Because I just did it. I got another email. From U.S., what was it? U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary District 11. Charlie, if you're having issues, do the same thing. Go to your email and Linda, did you get in?
I did. The second
Okay.
email did the
Okay.
trick. Thank you.
Okay. Wayne, did you get in?
No, I'm not in yet. I'm gonna have to leave and try signing in another way.
Okay, but did you get the email?
I don't know. I can't get to it right now. I'm locked
Okay.
out. All I've got your clock on my screen.
All right, you got 7 minutes. Log out, check your email, click, and you'll be fine. Charlie, where'd you go?
Yes, I got an email and it worked fine. I voted.
Oh, let me refresh.
I'm not sure if mine went through or not.
Yes, yes, everybody else's has gone through.
Oh, okay, good.
All right.
Yeah, this one is called runoff.
Yes, the I don't know why the credentials stayed the same. I just copied it and resent it. So I don't know. I'll look into why and hope nobody else will have that problem like me next week.
Yep.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Commander, are you there? Okay. We have another tie. We're going to have to do a third round. Same procedure. The election will launch in 3 minutes. So I am going to say we will take a 10-minute break. We will come back and I will see how much time is left on the clock and where we are, because you'll get the credentials should work, but if they don't, go to the email that'll go out in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Okay. Okay. Oh, good. So let me go back. Boy, and I thought ours were going to be easy compared to nationals.
I'm glad I never had to go through this.
This is fun. All right, I'm going to make this a 15-minute break.
Me too.
And come on, reset.
Hey, Chris, we'll have a beer after this.
Yeah, Rick's buying, so I'm good with that.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Rick. It's on the tab's on you again.
Just people, you're not structured like North, because I'm still voting for North, and we started at 10.
Oh my!
Wow. Well.
Yeah, the regional decap definitely helps on the voting procedure. Let me just tell you.
So how many reruns have they had?
I've lost count.
Oh, good. I don't feel bad then.
If you don't get a majority, then you take out the lowest, because they have 7 people running for 3 positions. But you only do one at a time. If you don't have a majority, you take out the lowest and then you keep going. And then once you get the majority for that one position, you start all over for position 2 and 3. So, yeah.
We had that 2 years ago, or was it last year, Chris? 2 years ago?
No, it just went this 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing is it came down from 5 Northern and 14. It's taking longer than they thought. You know, we planned 4 hours for the Nationals, and that was what, 6 positions?
Yeah.
So, you know, you're doing that, but yeah, you got to figure out a 6-hour election. Thank God for copy.
Thank God for alcohol.
Well, that's true. All right, we have 11 seconds left until it launches.
Yeah, I know North was complaining that you can only launch it on the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, I know.
Commodore Johnson, I have a question for you if you're there.
I am.
Oh.
We go to the deck of cards if there's another tie?
No, it's
Russian roulette. No.
Yeah, draw one out of a hat is what it is.
Chris, go get a hat and start putting names in it just in case.
By the way, Commander, did you say that you dropped out the lowest one on that one vote?
That's, well, not on one vote. That's off of a ballot, on the people on the ballot.
Okay, but it was the lowest vote? I thought it was the last 2 had a runoff election.
Well, they do a runoff election. They did.
Okay, because I didn't hear the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
But it is a convoluted process if you're not regional like you guys are. It is making my head hurt up north.
All right, I need to close this one. All right, I'm gonna put our tally committee back into the breakout room.
Wait.
And we'll see if three's a charm.
Are we going to get another email?
You should. I got mine.
Oh God,
I mean, it literally spits it out the second I hit launch. It goes.
I don't see it here.
Yeah, I got mine as well.
Hit your check mail button again.
I'm doing this, yeah. Oh, they got the last one. Okay. All right, good. Here we go. Hmm. Mine says voting is closed.
I think you have the wrong email then.
Yeah, refresh, try it again, Bill.
I sure will. Let me see.
Total. We've done 9 plus.
This one came up 1355 that I'm looking at here now, so I don't know.
Say that again.
My top says 1355.
Remotely and 90 in person. So right around.
1310 or 1410 is the newest one.
Yeah, I don't see it. Wait.
Original number that to look up who it is, go to it. Some of these people were never.
Just refresh.
Resend voting instructions.
I'm going to my email.
Okay, I just resent them to you. So
my iPad. Okay.
So you should get another email. I just resent it to you.
Okay. At 2:10, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it. All right, good. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Okay, good.
Okay. This is going to be fun. Hello again, all. Can you hear me? We have another tie. According to the SOP, yeah, this is why you print them out and bring them with you. So, if 3 successive ballots for any position result in a tie vote, there shall be a short recess for such informal discussion as may be practical in person by whatever electronic means are chosen by the members of the board. If after reconvening the district board, a 4th ballot results in a tie, the election is being conducted by electronic means only, the DSOLP shall, while being observed by those using the online conference software, place the names of the tied candidates on separate slips of paper in a receptacle and blindly draw from that receptacle one name, which shall then be discarded. The remaining names shall then be announced, and the election shall continue in accordance with the procedures established by reference B. So we have one more electronic election. 2 minutes and 41 seconds. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So hang on a second here. Oh. Copy. Minute and 56 seconds. Okay, as a reminder, the bridge that I announced earlier, as well as division commanders from 5, 6, and 11 are the only ones that are voting on this. Minute and 14 seconds till the election launches. And let me come back here.
Did you send a new email?
39 seconds, it'll go out.
Oh, okay.
You can only schedule it for in 5-minute increments. So
yeah. Okay.
I have to wait until. Ten seconds till launch. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition, and it's cleared the tower.
It's stuck in outer space.
And the election is running.
There we go. Bingo.
Commodore, the clock shows paused.
What?
The clock shows paused. It's not counting down like before.
Oh. All right. There we go. Okay. Oh. You know what I need to do? Sorry, I need to. Oh, on this.
Breakout room.
Yeah. That's what I forgot. Sorry. What happened? Did you get the breakout room request, Mike?
No.
No.
Breakout room. Breakout room. Oh. Did you get it, Mike?
Not yet.
Nope.
All right. Bear with me here. Ozone break. Closing in 60 seconds. All right. There we go. All
Okay.
right, see you over there. All right. Can you all hear me? Okay. Commodore Johnson, where are you at?
I should be right there. Are you seeing me
Oh,
on the
yeah, I
big
see
screen?
you. Why are
You
you
see me on the big screen when I talk?
Well,
Hello, hello.
yeah, I got you. I got you.
Okay.
There I am. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have another tie. At least we're all consistent. Hang on. So, according to the rules, our DSOLP has both candidates on a big piece of paper. He's going to put them in a bowl, shake it, reach in, pull one candidate out, discard it. He will reach in and pull the second candidate out, and that will be the District Commodore, or I'm sorry, DCAP, LALB South.
After all this, deserves
After
district
all this,
Commodore.
yeah. The amount of time I spent just to pull this off, and it comes down to reaching in a bowl. Okay. Commander? Commander, where you at? Oh, hang on, let me scroll. You concur with my assessment? Okay.
Yep, I
All right.
concur.
All right, good. I was hoping you'd been through this and go, oh yeah, piece of cake. All right, Commodore Johnson, the limelight is on you.
Okay, very well. Thank you. I have a bowl. Can everybody see the bowl? And it's empty, right? Okay.
Yep.
And I have two names written on two pieces of paper. Can you see those names?
Yeah, up a little higher. Yep, right there.
Is
Might
that
be-
bowl a globe from your light?
What's that?
I said, is that bowl actually like a globe from your light?
From a previous light, yes. It does have a hole in the bottom.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Now what I'm going to do is fold these two and put them in the bowl. So, and they're the same size. In goes one. And I'm the only one in this room, so nobody's pulling anything on us.
Do it blindfolded.
Oh, thanks. And here's the other one. Okay, everybody see?
Yep.
All right, now. My eyes are closed. And I do have one piece of paper, which I've discarded. And there are no rabbits in the hat, no. Okay. So the district captain is Mike.
Buzz. Congratulations.
Oops, sorry about that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, that didn't quite go as the way I planned it 27,000 times in my head last night, but we came to a conclusion. So thank you very much to the tally committee. I learned a couple of things that I will be sending out as, oops, didn't think of that one. So at this time, I had a break scheduled. Do we want to take a 5-minute break, or I see a lot of heads going back and forth? Okay. Congratulations to all the winners. Your, what happened here? Oh, I know what happened. Bear with me a second, folks. I was seeing two of me, and that was confusing the daylights out of me. So, Commodore Merriman, you have some really good news for us, right? From National?
I have a few things to share for you.
All right.
With you, not very much. So
Okay.
first, Hi, everybody. Thank you for the time. I really appreciate that. I'm here representing your Deputy National Commodore, Wally Smith, and he's given me a few items to pass along on his behalf. And first, let me add my congratulations to the people who were just elected. That was quite an experience, quite a marathon. You're very patient, and I congratulate you for that. Wayne, thank you so much for being a candidate. And thanks to everybody who provides support in the background. You all provide a vital service to the district and to the auxiliary, and we need to acknowledge you as well as the winners of the election. I was looking back at my calendar, and I was last with you almost exactly 1 year ago at your fall 2019 board meeting. And I'm contemplating what a different world we're in now just 1 year later. You lost your last two D trains, 2019 to the 35-day government shutdown and 2020 because of COVID-19. And Commodore Smith and I recognize how much planning goes into preparing for D trains by so many people in the district, and the disappointment that follows when they have to be canceled, especially through no fault of your own. We hope that next year will bring better news for us. We also know that the precautions and the restrictions around the pandemic have severely limited much of what we would have considered to be normal activities for the past 6 months, which is a tremendous blow to 11 Southern and to the whole auxiliary. Was happy to hear Admiral Penyor talk about the things that he's looking at and having his staff look at to try and get us back into business. I think it's important for you to know that all of NEXCOM, including the Chief Director, understand that there's support from the top of Coast Guard leadership for districts to get the auxiliary back to work. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know the details, but we know that that's being attended to and being watched very carefully. It occurs to me that while the Admiral was talking, that people may not be aware that we have over the past several years conducted gap analyses with local Coast Guard units, and that's going to continue into next term. And that's to identify what the Coast Guard needs and how we match that to auxiliary capabilities, training, qualifications, and life experience so that we can be ready to serve the specific needs of the local Coast Guard units and entities. Okay, so it's not been all doom and gloom. I have to point out that member training hours, along with recruiting and retention, are actually doing okay this year. Your district leaders have provided a multitude of opportunities for online training, and members have and are taking advantage of that, with many of them achieving qualifications and certifications they might not have gotten otherwise. So when I look at the numbers for 11 South, while public education, Marine dealer visits, and underway hours are all less than 30% as of July compared to the same period for 2019. Member training is 56% and new members is 51%, which I think is an excellent outcome under these very difficult circumstances. So congratulations for that and keep up the good work. District Commodore mentioned this. Speaking of qualifications, we well understand that there's a lot of concern among the membership on what's going to happen with going into re-year status because of limited opportunities to do missions. This is being addressed by the Chief Director's staff right now. We expect to hear something very soon. He said mid-September, which is in a couple of days. I can't swear that will happen, but it's better to hear a date like that than to hear, oh, sometime in the next few months. We understand that those will be measures that acknowledge the challenges and act to keep members okay with their qualifications. So while I don't have any specific information to pass to you today, I would ask that you reassure your members that now is not the time to panic. It's going to be okay. We don't know what the details are, but when we do, people will be satisfied. A commercial on behalf of my organization, Information Technology and Planning, is that the election eligibility reports in the same format as we saw last year are now available as of yesterday on the Performance Measurement, the MDirectorate webpage. So please let your districts and flotillas know. It's an excellent resource for the nominating committees and the other people who are organizing the elections to check and see who is eligible to fill which office. And Chris, that's really all I have for right now. If anybody has any questions or comments, Commodore Smith and I welcome hearing them. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with either one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Commodore. Just a side note that I guess it was an all-ox that came out yesterday about the numbers for performance measurement are posted in the post on the district website. You will notice that the district website has a totally brand new look. We finally got it moved over. We're going to do a little more massaging on it. But all of the all coast, I post them up there literally the second after I get them. And the one about performance measure is up there. And the link is a quick link so you can download the information. So with that, Commander Keenan.
Good afternoon, everyone. So not much to pass, but I did want to thank everyone for under phase one kind of policy and restrictions for doing what you can to get out there. People have been getting out there and being active. Thus far, we've had 45 assignments to duty that have been approved. We're getting see many people doing BSCs, doing program visits, a handful of Payton observations from shore. And as Admiral mentioned, I've started working with the Commodores from North and then Commodore Harshfield to get a phase 2 drafted. And unfortunately don't have anything on REYR as Commodore Merriman mentioned. The other thing that I know came up with North is we're hoping that with that guidance will come out some guidance for those kind of qualifications that require you to do 3 consecutive years or 5 consecutive years of hours towards stuff that will basically be able to waive 2020, and that will just not count that one, and you won't have a lapse or a break in your years. We can, like I said, just ignore it, and then we'll keep counting. So we'll look for that, and as soon as we get it, it'll likely come out at an all-ox, and if it's like the other all-oxes that have been coming out, you guys will get it at the same time I do. But as of right now, our office has not received any drafts. We don't know what they're talking about. We just know that they're talking about it. It is the end of the fiscal year, so I always have to remind, but Coast Guard operates on October is the end of our fiscal year, or September, excuse me, is the end of our fiscal year. New one starts, fiscal year 21 starts in October 1st. Right now, I've reserved some SAMA money. So if there was a waiver that was approved, or if by chance we're able to get some patrols out there, we do have funding for that, but all other funds have been taken away from us. That is the active duty funds. That has nothing to do with your auxiliary association funds that Virgil maintains and monitors that you guys vote on your budget for. For fiscal year 21, we have no word right now. I may, pay attention to the news, but the way 2020 has been rolling, I'm not going to be shocked if we have a government shutdown. Basically just preparing myself for the worst because it's been crazy between wildfires and COVID and just everything going on right now. I just figure I might as well prepare myself. But I have no sound intel on that. So we'll see. We'll get policy out as soon as possible. For 21, hopefully we'll have a phase 2 that's rolling out around that time too. And we'll be working to get more people out there doing what they can. Office staff and office work. We have a new YN2 in the office. Please keep sending stuff to the shared inbox because they're only in the office every other day-ish, and we don't have you guys helping us out in the office. So Leslie is busting her butt as always, but just be patient. If we drop the ball on stuff, send a friendly reminder. Also, if mail is like it is up north, because I work out of Alameda, we're only getting mail like twice a week, it seems like. They're not delivering mail on base. So have patience, continue to have patience with us, send friendly reminders. And that is all I have unless someone has a question for me.
Okay. Thank you, Commander. And believe me, we're back and forth on the REYR. Have you heard anything? No, I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything? So nobody's holding out. We literally don't know anything. So I don't know if Captain Johnson knows himself yet. Because, I mean, it's a big decision is what it is. It's not an easy thing to do. So thank you very much, Commander. At this time, Mr. Geiger.
Yeah, so while we were voting, the strangest thing happened. Someone knocked on my front door, and it was a masked man there with a gift for me. I don't know who he was because he was a masked man. I didn't see a white horse, so it probably wasn't the Lone Ranger. And this is what he gave me. I've got a set of Commodore shoulder boards. So I don't know who it was, but somehow I think I know who is behind it, Leslie.
I don't know.
So thank you very much. Okay, as far as anything to report, since we just had a meeting last Thursday, I don't have much, but I would like to give you an update on the status of district staff offices. We have received at least one application for every staff office and several applications for a few others. And we're in the process of making our selections and notifications. Some of the returning staff officers have already recommended assistance, and we expect we'll probably have all staff offices filled by the end of the month. That gives us an opportunity to start working with the divisions in helping select their staff. We are also in the process of planning our district elected officer workshops, which will begin in early October. And obviously we'll have to do this virtually this year. And we're looking at 4 2-hour sessions, perhaps on Sunday evenings during the month of October. DSO Legal, Mike Johnson, has agreed to present a workshop on legal issues, and several other DSOs will be presenting as well. That's all I have, Commodore.
All right. Thank you very much, Commodore, with the little E in parentheses. Commodore Stoddard.
Good afternoon, everyone. I do not have anything to pass down at this time.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Let's see, Mr. Devoy.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Just really real quick, not real quick, but we all know that there's no resolution on the rears right now. But really what you need to make clear to all the members is that the active duty side, really all we want is to work with our members. No one wants this to be hard or things like that. So just when you're asked, we don't have really any answers right now, but what we do know, what is clear, is that the active duty side is trying to do nothing but work with our members to ensure that we all get through this whatever you want to call these times smoothly as we can. So just remind them of that. So basically, I mean, this is my last year, going into my 5th year here. I'll be leaving next summer. So really, I listening to Admiral and what he had to say really just piqued my interest when he was talking about the OPD and how the sectors need to be sure and they can depend on our crews. And really, all I can say is we're well ahead of that game. Really, what I've been stressing since day one, since I got here, is although we have members that may not be as proficient as our active duty crews, we still need to know exactly how to do the job the same way. Maybe not as a high level, but we need to be able to do the job at the same way. So, and that's where he's getting at, and it's what I've been stressing from day one, is the sector commander, the officer in charge, the commanding officers of stations need to be able to depend on our crews when they want to call on them. So that was pretty nice to hear. I was glad that he said that, and I'm even more happy that we're well on our way. So that kind of leads me into what I want to talk about our boat crew program is going to take a hit. It's gonna. You're talking about now that with the Admiral mentioning, a time frame of 6 to 9 months, more of this, and really, there's no other way to look at it but how it is, and that is our training program is going to take our boat crew training program is going to take a hit. And what I mean by that is new certifications coming out are going to be tough. Even really current certifications are going to be tough, but there's always a way, not around it, but for our crews to do. We should be focused on, keeping our brain sharp in the informational part of our program, which is really almost as important as the physical side. So, really need you to stress down to your crews what they can be doing is their landside stuff. Even with new people coming on, new crewmen, people that want to get into the program eventually when we get underway, is to make sure that we have a whole section of landside stuff that needs to get done. We have many boat crew handbooks that they could be downloaded digitally and gone through. I can't tell you how many times as a break-in, both crewman and coxswain, how many times I've read the boat crew seamanship manual back and front during those qualification processes. We can still download those manuals and be keeping our brain sharp for when we do and we're able to get back on the water. There's nothing wrong with having Zoom classes, to have like a boat crew class with some of our members, just talking about different aspects of the boat crew. We need to do something in order to keep our members in the program or early in the game without having to get underway, because we're not there yet. So really, I'm just starting to really look at this now that I know it could be even longer that we're not underway. I'm talking with Bob and some of my senior QEs on how we can move forward with a virtual boat crew program of some sorts, just to keep our members entertained and in the program so that we don't take as big as a hit as we might. Any suggestions that you guys may have, please let me know. But it's important that we, again, keep our members in the game so that we don't lose 50% of our boat crew program before we were even allowed back on the water. So that's all I got. Actually, I wanted to talk real quick about the assignment to duty request process. Right now we have a great program in place with members being able to request assignment to duty via our website. The forms are working just great when they come into the office, and we're able to process those fairly quickly. I just need you guys to stress to your members that, when they're sending up these assignment to duty requests to be specific. They can't just, give me, we're going to do VSCs and, that's it. Like we need specifics. Each individual mission has to be, I have to look at that at a risk-based decision on each mission. So they have to be specific of that. And you have to let people know that every mission is different. Every member is different. I have members emailing me saying, why am I being denied, but my, this guy over here and this neighboring flotilla is not, or even someone in my own flotilla is not being denied. Like every request is different. You have to stress that down, that the risk-based decision for each request is different and unique, really. So that's kind of where we're at. For the most part, they're pretty specific and everything's going really well. But there are a few that have been very vague and I know Leslie sent out a memo the other day regarding people in rears, trying to put in assignment to duty requests for people in rears, and that's not part of phase one. Phase one is certified only, so you can't put in a request to get out of rears to go do VSCs. You have to actually be certified in what you're trying to do. There's also no trainees. We're not bringing trainees with us to try to get them certified during phase 1. So that's something to pass down as well. Other than that, I think that's all I got. If anybody has any questions or anything for me. All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Mr. DeVoy. Appreciate it very much. At this time, Mom, we all know who I'm talking about.
Hello.
Hello, there you are.
Okay, yes, Mr. DeVoy just talked about the assignment to duty. We need the assignment to duty forms. They've been coming in great. The risk assessment forms, you only need to do them one time unless something changed from the previous submission. RMTCT, we've taught 19 online classes. We have another one scheduled on the 19th of this month, and we have one scheduled on the weeknights, the 29th and 30th of this month. After that, we're going to send an email to the shared mailbox if you are interested in taking the class, because we've got to where classes aren't filling up. We've taught around 320 people, either through online or in person in January. So the RMTCT refresher is good for 15 months. So if you took it in August of this year, you're good until October of next year. So I sent out notifications a little bit ago reminding everybody who we have on the list, showing that we haven't seen them yet.
Okay, bandwidth gods got you.
Hey, Chris.
Membership application.
Yes, sir, Mr. DeVoy.
Hey, before Leslie comes back, I just want to make sure the policy is 12 months with the grace period of 3 months. So make sure you're pushing 12 months down the line.
Okay. Leslie, you're breaking up.
Applications, but 75% of that, what happened?
You were breaking up. Back up for the last 2 minutes of what you were saying. Well, hold your arm up and leg, and maybe the antenna gods will help. Or maybe not.
Just remember guys and gals, when we push that information down for TCT, we have offered over 30 classes this year. So when that whole rears thing comes up and people start talking about being in rears for TCT, again, TCT rears is going to be a unique situation with every case being different. But TCT, remember, we've offered 30 plus classes this year. So hearing I'm in rears for TCT is not, going to be a good one. So pass it down. We've had them, and they should be taking them and signing up for them. They're there.
Okay, Leslie, are you back yet, or? I don't. So, whoop. Oh, all right, Leslie.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Applications. I need people to use the application checklist. I've got a 75% rejection rate. Let me find my notes. ID cards, we are backed up, but we have taken the ID card machine out to one of my members that's going to try and get the ID card process moving again. Other than that, just bear with me and keep sending stuff to the shared mailbox, and we'll take care of it as soon as we can and the best we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Hardest working person in our district, no matter what anybody says. Yes, that's true. Thank you very much for all your information. At this time, do we have any old business? Patrick Porter, do we have any old business that still
I
needs?
do not believe we have any old business at this time. We do need to take a look at the minutes.
All right. Yeah, I did kind of forget to put that in the agenda, didn't I? Okay, well, I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm going to punt here. Let's take a look at the minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes from the July meeting? Do we see any changes that need to be done?
Yes, my name was not listed as attending. It has the immediate past division commander, and I don't believe Michael Bick was at that meeting.
No. Okay.
Got it. I'll make that adjustment.
Anybody else have any? Do I hear a nomination to approve the minute?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Say again?
It's Chris. I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right. Do I have a second?
Lonnie, I'll second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed, say nay. Hearing none. Minutes are done. Patrick is uploading these on what is it, Files Anywhere, Patrick?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. One of the things that we need to do for next year is get our SRs to upload their minutes on this server. I know there's big gaps in between, but we need to have copies of all minutes for archival purposes. So that'll be something that Commodore Geiger can push forward. I'm just giving you a little heads up on that. New business. Do we have any new business to be brought before the board? Okay, uh-oh, my screen froze.
Budget.
Oh.
District budget.
The budget, yes, okay. I sent out the budget. We need to approve the budget for 2021 prior to 2021. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the budget? If we have any questions, Virgil and I worked on it. Actually, Virgil worked on it and then he discussed it with me. Do we see any corrections that need to be done? Hearing none, do we wish to bring this up for a vote or do we need further discussion on it? We will have another meeting in about a month or so. I know there's been a lot going on, so it's up to the board, but we have to do it by next month at least.
This is Lonnie. I'll make a motion to accept the budget as proposed.
Matt Smith, second.
All right. Since this is a budget, Patrick, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. And that will, let's see, District Commodore Harshfield.
Aye.
District Chiefs of Staff, Charlie Geiger.
Aye.
District Captain, LALB North, Rick Ebel. District Captain,
Go ahead. Rick had to step away. He had another appointment once the elections were over, and I let him go. So
Got it, sir.
he will not be voting.
District Captain LALB South, Kapinski.
Aye.
District Captain San Diego Inland, Milano.
Aye.
Immediate past Commodore, Stoddard.
Aye.
Directory of Auxiliary, Commander Keenan. OTO, Robert DeVoy.
Present.
Thank you. Division Commander Donahue.
Aye.
Division Commander 4, Donner.
Aye.
Division Commander 5, Bozarth.
Aye.
Division Commander 6, Palmer.
Aye.
Division Commander 7, Fiamingo.
Aye.
Division Commander 9, Singer. Division Commander 10, Smith. Division Commander 11, Olson.
Aye.
Thank you. Division Commander 12, Hecker.
Aye.
And PDCA Media Pass, or President O'Leary.
Not present.
Not present.
Did you get Division 9 and Division 10?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I didn't hear them, but so the motion, the budget passes. Just keep in mind a budget is a guideline. We've done pretty good over the last few years meeting our budget needs. And I want to thank everybody for that, contributing to that effort. I'm a budget person. I hate it when you go over budget. So we've been very fortunate and stayed under budget for the last couple of years. At this time, the finance report. Virgil.
Not much happens. Anybody can see. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask.
Has everybody had an opportunity to review the finance report? Do I have a motion to accept the finance report?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Mike Fiamingo. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Bill Kapinski. Any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, say nay. I miss my opportunity to be the one person to say the NA word. I've always wanted to do it because nobody ever does. But that concludes our meeting. Does anybody have anything they wish to bring up quickly while we have everybody here?
Commodore X, just one question. I received an email that Flotilla 1010 was looking about doing 11 members transferring, or 11 members retiring and 1 member transferring out. So with that, do we need to have discussions on a sidebar about what we do with Flotilla like we did with some others this year?
Yes, and I will get with you at the first part of next week after the director and I have had the opportunity to discuss it. Commodore Johnson and I briefly discussed it, but I will get back to you.
Thank you.
On that.
Commodore, one question.
Yes, sir.
Division 7 is having their election on Monday.
That is correct.
If you could get that script on uncontested elections so that I can use that in presiding over the elections.
Well, I was actually going to put them up for bid, and the highest bidder gets a copy of them. So I'm open for, another 0 or something. Yes, I will get this out to everybody.
Great.
So Yes,
And-
I will get that out probably over the weekend. Whatever I have in red is what you just replaced the name on. So.
Commodore, I do have one question. On the uncontested
You already had
election-
one. You already had your one question. So.
Okay, well, then this is another question.
All right, give me your second one.
My second one. So if during the uncontested election, if someone puts in for an office, is that automatically guaranteed that that person gets it? And I ask because I do potentially have an election where the other members would not vote for an individual for office.
All right, let's take this up on sidebar.
You need at least one vote for the member. So if no one votes for him, but I mean.
Well, that's correct. And
Commodore Johnson can provide more information too.
Commander, no, I appreciate that. I will follow up with the Commodore. It's just the individual that has a name in for election does not have a vote. And I just wanted to ensure or understand that if someone puts in, if no one says that they're going to do a vote, then it's not uncontested where then that person is approved.
Yeah, I will verify again with the all aux, but definitely with the aux manual, you require at least one vote for uncontested.
Okay. No, thank you very kindly. Commodore, I'll follow up with you next week.
All right. Commodore Johnson, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I saw on the agenda that there was an item that Virgil wanted to talk about on financial report submissions. Apparently, he's not getting all of them. Is that correct, Virgil?
I didn't catch that, Mike.
Oh, yes. Financial report submission. Are you getting finance reports? That may have been left over from
I was
last
going to
meeting,
bring
Mike.
that up. I'm getting most of them, but some I'm not getting anything at all. And I'd appreciate if all the leadership would start harping on getting them sent in along with secretary records.
Okay, thank you for catching that. One other thing that I want to bring up, last week we had the discussion about dues, division and flotilla dues. Keep in mind that has to be passed before the end of this fiscal year or it has to wait. I know several flotillas in our area have already agreed to waive the flotilla dues. I'm not sure about the division, but you have a hard deadline and you have to have a 10-day notice to have an emergency meeting unless you already have one planned. So don't lose track of that because come midnight on the 31st, you have to wait a year to change that. So with that, do we have any other questions, answers, statements?
Did you want to talk about the 24-hour?
Yeah, I can. I was going to do it on because I only have the 3 flotillas.
Okay.
We had requested a basically an extension of time for flotilla elections. Not right now. I only have 3 planned. I think it's 2 in Wayne's division and 1 in Carey's. But the rest of you are not out of the woods. 14 days before the election date is your cutoff. So basically what's going to happen is we will launch the election just like I did 3 times a day for this one. I will launch it 24 hours and 30 minutes prior to the flotilla elections meeting. What that does is it gives the members 24 hours to receive the email, vote. The reason I went 24 and 30 minutes, that way it concludes at the halfway point of their flotilla meeting. Hopefully, we don't have a lot of ties, so I don't have to go through that again, but it could happen, and if it does, it does. So this gives the members more opportunity to be able to vote. Keep in mind, all flotilla members are voting members, so you know, I know in our flotilla, I got people that have been there since before I joined, and I still have no idea who they are. So every flotilla has that. If they vote, great. If they don't, great. The outcome is the outcome. So Anything else? What did you have a chat for me, Rod? I was not paying attention.
Yes, that I have one contested election in one of my flotillas. Also, there will be.
Oh yes, that's right. You do. It's 1-6 or something. And yes, that's right. You have one. So let's see. Let me quickly go through the chat. I have not been paying attention. Commodore Merriman, how is the rollout of my CGOX coming along?
It's the new one, yeah.
I have to unmute myself. Do you mean Ox Data 2, or are you asking about my CGOX?
My
CGOX
Yeah.
will be sunsetted at the end of this year. It will no longer exist. We're not going to renew the contract. It's only getting utilization by about 4% of the membership. And after analyzing its capabilities against what we are now seeing we can do with the new Ox data system, it's simply not worth spending the money on the product to reach so few people with such a limited functionality compared to what we expected it to provide 6 years ago.
Yes, and I believe that notice just came out yesterday or the day before.
It was a day or two ago. Yes. Yes. So we're giving people enough time to know that it's ending. If there's any information on it that they want to capture, they can do that, or they can inform the team. The documents, the libraries will be rehoused elsewhere on the national website. So they're not just going to go poof into cyberspace. The biggest impact is there will be no immediate replacement for the communities of interests functionality. Again, it's being used by such a small number of members that don't think that's going to have a huge impact. If it does, we want to hear that feedback, and we will get the team working on what we might be able to do to replace it. No promises. We will look at it.
Okay. Don't forget. That's all I have in the chat window. Yes, I got yours, Rod, and yes, I am aware of that one. So with that, this concludes our meeting and our elections. I want to congratulate to all the winners. Your journey has just begun. Please get with the current officers that you will be replacing and start your planning. Your effective date of taking over is at 0001 on January 1st, 2021. Yep, I know. There's some of us going, yes, bravo. And then some of us are very sad. So, but thank you all again for coming. Commander, can you call me in about an hour on my phone? Okay. That's it. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you all on the next one. I mark this meeting adjourned. Hope that didn't hurt. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Will there be any refreshments?
Yes, they are. Their refreshments are out in the back alley in the garbage can. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Very good.